stranger. In a small apartment in Algiers lived a man named Meursault, quiet, solitary, and curiously detached from the world around him. He moved through life as if it were happening to someone else. He neither sought joy nor avoided pain. He simply existed, observing more than feeling. One afternoon, he received a telegram from the nursing home where his mother had lived. It read, "Mother deceased. Funeral tomorrow. Deep sympathy." He thought to himself, "Maman died today. Or maybe yesterday. I can't be sure." And with that, he left for the funeral, not grieving, not numb, but indifferent. The next day, under the heavy Algerian sun, he stood before his mother's coffin surrounded by strangers. Old women sobbed quietly. Others whispered prayers. The caretaker asked if he wished to see her one last time. Meursault declined. He smoked a cigarette, drank coffee, and watched the light fade from the room. It wasn't cruelty, it was simply that he saw no meaning in gestures. Death, he thought, was inevitable. Why pretend otherwise? When he returned to Algiers, he slept for 12 hours straight. The next morning, he went swimming, feeling the salt on his skin, the warmth of the sun. It was Sunday and the city was alive with laughter and voices. He met Marie, a woman who worked at his office, and they spent the day together, swimming, laughing, eating, and later, sleeping side by side. She asked if he loved her. He said, "It doesn't mean anything, but I don't think so." Yet she smiled, unoffended. To Meursault, love was just another word, not a truth, not a necessity. Days passed in silent rhythm. He worked, ate, smoked, and sat by his window watching the streets. His neighbor, Raymond, often visited, a rough man known for fights and trouble. One evening, Raymond invited Meursault for dinner and told him a story. His mistress had cheated on him, and he wanted revenge. He asked Meursault to help him write a letter that would lure her back. Meursault agreed, not out of loyalty, but because there was no reason not to. When the woman came, Raymond beat her. The police intervened, but Meursault, when questioned, calmly testified that Raymond's anger was understandable. To others, his tone seemed emotionless. To him, it was simply factual. Raymond and Meursault became strange companions, both detached from the moral expectations of society. One Sunday, Raymond invited Meursault and Marie to the beach to meet a friend. The day was blindingly hot. The sun burned white against the sand. There, they saw two Arab men watching them from a distance, one of them the brother of Raymond's beaten mistress. A fight broke out. Knives flashed. Raymond was cut on the arm before the men ran away. Later, after tending to Raymond's wound, Meursault wandered down the beach alone. He walked slowly, half dazed by the heat, until he saw one of the Arabs again, lying by a spring of water, the sunlight glittering on his knife. The world seemed to blur. The sun pressed on his eyes. The sweat burned his face. He felt trapped between the glare and the sea. When the Arab's knife flashed once more, the light hit Meursault like fire. He raised Raymond's gun and fired. The man fell. Then, as if something inside him demanded completion, Meursault fired 4 more times into the motionless body. He would later say, "It was because of the sun." He was arrested. At his trial, the lawyers and judges seemed less interested in the murder than in Meursault himself. They asked why he hadn't cried at his mother's funeral, why he'd gone swimming the next day, why he showed no remorse. His honesty unsettled them. He told the truth. He didn't believe in God. He didn't pretend to feel what he didn't. He didn't see why lying should make life more acceptable. The prosecutor called him a monster, a man without soul, without heart, without faith. The court gasped when he said, "I didn't love my mother, but it doesn't mean I didn't care." They couldn't comprehend such simplicity. To them, The absence of emotion was a crime greater than murder. The verdict was death. The guillotine. In his final days, Meursault sat alone in his cell. He stared at the small window, the sliver of sky. A priest came to him, offering confession and salvation. Meursault refused. "I don't want to waste my time on God," he said. The priest persisted, pleading for his soul. But Meursault exploded for the first time in his life, shouting that he was certain of one thing: all men are condemned to die, and none have the right to judge another. He felt more alive in that rage than he ever had before. After the priest left, a great peace filled him. He realized that the universe was indifferent, neither cruel nor kind. Its silence matched his own, and in that shared indifference, he found freedom. He thought of his mother again, how she had embraced life simply, finding joy in the last light of her days. He understood her now. When dawn came, he imagined the crowd that would gather to see his execution, their voices shouting with hate. And strangely, the thought comforted him. He whispered to himself, "To feel less alone, I must wish for their cries of hate." As the light broke across the sky, Meursault closed his eyes and smiled. He had accepted the world just as it was, silent, vast, and free.